welcome to Rocky Railways. I am so excited you are watching day 2 of Vacation Bible School. Remember, here at Rocky Railways, we are imagining what it would be like to travel by steam train through the Rocky Mountains. Think about some things that you might see if you were traveling on a steam train through the Rocky Mountains. Tell some of your family members what you might see. That's great. Some of you may say you would have seen animals, you might see big mountains, you might even take pictures of the big mountains. You may stop your train and get off and take some hikes. Let's get started by singing our theme song, Your Power Will Pull Us Through.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you. Trusting in you. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you.
I hope you were singing loud and were really excited about that song that you're starting to know. I can't wait to hear you singing when you come to Rocky Railway Wrap-Up here at the church on Thursday night at 7 p.m. I can't wait to see you and wave to you and hear you singing. Remember, this week it's all about Jesus pulling us through. Imagine this balloon was you. You're full of joy and happiness. I want you to stand up, if you can, where you are, and make your arms look like this balloon. All right? I hope that as you're watching Bible school, you're full of hope and happiness and joy. But sometimes we're not always happy, are we? Sometimes we're sad Can you deflate your arms a little bit, like I deflated the balloon a little bit? Sometimes we're discouraged because of hard things. Make your arms a little smaller. Some days we feel like we have no hope. And you can let your arms just fall because we just don't have any hope. We feel deflated. I am sure some of you have felt sad or empty or hopeless at some point. Some of you may have felt that way while we all had to stay at home because of COVID-19. We couldn't go to school, we couldn't see some of our extended family like grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and that made us feel sad and hopeless. That's why I am so glad to tell you that Jesus' power gives us hope. The Bible says, "So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord." Today we're going to meet another Bible buddy. That Bible buddy's name is Ava. Ava is a red-tailed hawk. And Ava reminds us that Jesus' power fills us with hope. Can you say that with me? Jesus' power gives us hope. Before you go off and hear your Bible story, you're going to see a short video and learn more about Ava, the red-tailed hawk. Have fun!
Glad you're back on track at Rocky Railway. Wow, the first day just flew by, didn't it? I'm Ava, a red-tailed hawk. You can find me and my family members all over North America. We're everywhere. Even though we live all across North America, you may not see me in your backyard. Well, unless you don't have any neighbors. We like to live in wide open spaces where we can soar over treetops, grass, and water looking for food. You might say that red-tailed hawks are faithful friends. When we find a mate, we stay together for life. My fine feathered friend and I build our nest together and care for our chicks together. We're an excellent team. I'm happiest way up in the sky. That's why I build my nest at the tallest point I can find. Some hawk nests have been spotted as high as 120 feet off the ground. That's as high as a human tower of 20 tall crew leaders. My nest might be at the tip top of a tree, or even on the top of a building or a telephone pole. That gives me a bird's eye view of what's around, food, friends, or animals that might want to hurt us. Ah, I love soaring with my big, beautiful wings. They're more than 3 feet across, you know. God gave me just what I needed to catch the wind and just fly. Up here, you see things differently. Stuff that seemed big seems smaller. Things that seemed harder look much easier. A path that looks like a dead end, hey, I can see a way out. A fresh perspective can put the wind under your wings and give you the strength to keep going. Sometimes I spot you humans with my sharp hawk eyes, and you look a little down. Do things seem impossible? Scary? Hopeless? Maybe you need a fresh perspective. Maybe you need to see things Jesus' way, with hope. Jesus is stronger than anything. He has a plan for everything. You can have strength, courage, and hope. The Bible encourages us with these words. So be strong and courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. Jesus' power gives us hope. So trust Jesus.
Hi friends, welcome to Bible Adventures. Today's totally true story from the Bible may get your feet wet as we discover how Jesus' power gives us hope. Speaking of hope, I hope we don't run into any problems today. We're on a ship, and I always get a little seasick when I'm on the open sea. You may not want to stand too close to me. That could be a huge mistake. But the weather's supposed to be calm, so it sounds like smooth sailing. Ready to go? What's this? A letter? Dear Mrs. Roberts, I'm feeling a little green around the gills today, so I won't be able to sail the ship. But you used to sail, so you be in charge. Have a fun voyage, and thanks for your helps. The captain. Well, it's been a while since I sailed a ship, but it'll come back to me. Sort of like riding a bike, right? Except wetter and with no wheels. Let's go. Hoist those sails. I gotta swab this deck and pull up the anchor. Okay, let's fire up the engines. Wait a minute, that's right. It's Bible times. There are no engines. We'll have to get power another way. How could I get power from my ship?
Wind.
Great idea, but we're stuck until we get some wind. We're powerless to do anything. While we're waiting, let's talk about something. Tell me something you'd like to change in your life, but you feel powerless to do anything about it. As for me, I feel powerless during this quarantine. I really want to visit my family and friends, but we can't. We want everyone to be safe. How about you? Maybe there's a bully in your life you wish to go away, or a broken friendship you don't know how to fix. What's something in your life you feel powerless to do anything about? It's no fun to be powerless. It feels hopeless. But today we're learning about a new kind of power, the power of Jesus. And Jesus' power gives us hope. Hey, it looks like we have some wind. Let's go. This should be an easy trip, unless that prisoner chained up down below is right. He said our ship would sink. He said our cargo would float off and we wouldn't be sailing today. But he's not a sailor, so let's not pay any attention to him. His name is Paul, and from what I hear, he's a Christian who got into trouble because he keeps telling people about Jesus after God changed his heart from not liking Jesus to being a Jesus follower. The Emperor of Rome doesn't want people to follow Jesus because the Emperor wants people to follow him. But Paul kept talking, and now he's off to Rome to stand trial in front of the Emperor himself. I wouldn't want to be in Paul's sandals. Hey, did anybody else feel that? There it is again. I think it's raining. I'll have to look below and check the charts in case we're heading into bad weather. I'll check on Paul while I'm down there too. While I'm gone, you all better talk and come up with a plan for what to do if this ship sinks. Bad news, mates. Down below there's water sloshing around. That means we're heading into rough seas. I hope that Paul guy wasn't right about what's coming our way. Things could get really, really rough. Can you feel it? The wind's kicking up and the water is really going. Everybody lean to port. That's to your left. Everybody lean to your right. That's the starboard. We'll try to hug the shoreline before this ship breaks up. Quick, help me with the sails. This storm just won't stop. It has been going on for days. It's hopeless. It looks bad. But you know, when I checked on Paul, he said we should eat. We're going to need our strength. Paul gave me these sea biscuits. He said they would give us some strength. Well, here's the good news and the bad news. The bad news, Paul says the ship's going down. Good news, none of us will drown. Paul says Jesus will take care of us. And is that the shore over there? What about our prisoner down below? He gave us food, and he says his friend Jesus will take care of us. Do you think we should help him? I think so too. Imagine being on this ship when it splintered under you, and you being dropped into huge waves crashing against the shore, lightning flashing and wind howling. It must have been really awful. But Paul was right. Not one person on that ship was lost. Trusting in Jesus gave them hope in this shipwreck situation. I know that my friendship with Jesus powers up the hope that I have for during this quarantine, for seeing my family again. I'm so glad I know Jesus. And I know that praying about my situation, talking with God about it is helpful. Remember, boys and girls, Jesus' power will give us hope.
Welcome back to Imagination Station. I can't wait to see what amazing things we'll discover today. So, to start our time together, I have a question for you. Who remembered their imagination today? Looks like lots of people forgot. Well, that's okay. It's only day 2. I thought some people might forget, so I talked to my friend Ava for ideas. I think you met Ava, the red-tailed hawk? Anyway, Ava told me something incredible. God is so imaginative that he created red-tailed hawks with a unique, one-of-a-kind creative call. Let's close our eyes and imagine we're red-tailed hawks on the top of a big, beautiful mountain, and we're about to take flight. Everybody, close your eyes. All right, open your eyes. That was so cool. Ava has an amazing call. Now that our imaginations have taken flight, let's move on. Red-tailed hawks have great eyesight, but can they see colors? Or can they only see black and white? Think about your answer. Okay, let's make a drum roll so I can reveal the amazing answer. And the answer is red-tailed hawks can see colors. In fact, they can see more colors than humans can. Imagine that! Well, I can see that your brains are bubbling with imagination. So let's see what we can discover about those bodacious things called bubbles. Just look at these bouncy bubbles. Aren't they cool? They float, they fly, and they even have colors inside. Bubbles make me happy because they remind me of hope. Hope lifts my spirit like bubbles lift into the air. And bubbles are beautiful, just like the hope we have in Jesus is beautiful. Today, every time you see a bubble, remember that Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Did you know bubbles are actually made from a layer of water between 2 layers of soap film, like a soap sandwich? No matter how a bubble starts out, if you leave it alone, it will always form a sphere, a perfectly round shape. Does anyone know why bubbles always form spheres? A bubble wants to be a sphere because that shape has the least amount of surface tension of all possible shapes, cubes and pyramids. A sphere has the smallest amount of outside area. That's why bubbles all want to be round. Imagine that! You know, today's Science-y Fun Gizmo includes a couple of spheres, but they won't burst like bubbles. I can't wait to show you. Today, we're discovering that Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. I don't know about you, but I really need the hope that Jesus gives us. Like we just saw, bubbles rise into the air when we blow into the bubble solution. Today's Science-y Fun Gizmo kind of reminds me of bubbles, but it's way more fun. This, my friends, is called a hope and hover. I love how it works. Watch this. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little down, I need to remember the hope Jesus gives us. The hope Jesus gives raises my spirits and makes me feel better. And sometimes another person might be feeling down, and I can tell that friend about the hope we have in Jesus. Then the hope Jesus gives can make my friend feel better. And other times, I can celebrate with my friend that we both have hope in Jesus. We can thank Jesus together for the hope he gives us, and it lifts us both up. Now it's your turn. Your fun hope and hover can remind you that Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Don't touch the hope and hovers just yet. We'll assemble them together, okay? Let's lay out all of your supplies. You should have 2 white spheres, 1 blue plastic loop, and a cardboard flute. I've decorated my cardboard flute with markers. I also drew faces on my spheres to remind me of my friends. To assemble your hope and hover, first take the cardboard flute. Find the square-shaped hole on the flute. Grab your blue plastic loop and insert it into the square-shaped hole. Make sure that you align the loop so that the circles on the cardboard flute are coming through directly center. Then grab your spheres. Carefully balance them in the blue plastic loop, and you're ready to experiment with your hope and hover. If you'd like for both of the spheres to rise together, hold the flute without covering up either of the holes. If you would like one sphere to rise, cover one of the holes with your finger. If you'd like the other to rise, cover the other hole. Sometimes we're up and sometimes we're down. The hope Jesus gives us can always lift us up, and we can share the hope we have in Jesus with our friends and family members. Then they can be lifted by the hope of Jesus too. Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. Now it's your turn to experiment with your hope and hover. Have fun. When it's time to come back, you'll hear the train whistle. Have fun. Well, we've come to the end of our time at Imagination Station. Take your hope and hover and put all of the pieces inside a baggie. That way none of them get lost. If you have a Try This at Home sticker, it reminds you of the daily Bible point. Jesus' power gives us hope. Trust Jesus. All right, we'll see you next time here at Imagination Station.
Welcome to Rocky Wrap-Up. Today we discovered that Jesus' power gives us hope. Our Bible buddy, Ava, says Jesus' power gives us hope. Ava soars in the sky. Can you soar like Ava? Put your arms out. And just like Ava soars in the sky, Jesus' power makes our heart soar. You will find a coloring sheet in your packet that looks something like this. And it says, Jesus' power gives us hope. Can you repeat that with me? Jesus' power gives us hope. I hope you'll color this later to help you remember that Jesus' power gives us hope. A long time ago, people used to ride steam trains from far, far away to the Rocky Mountains in search of gold. They wanted to mine for gold. The people would hope that they wanted to find gold. Mining for gold is a very dirty job. Just like if you're gardening or playing in the dirt, if you put your hands in the dirt like I am, when you're gardening, your hands come out very dirty and yucky. Sometimes in life, we just feel yucky and we're sad and lonely. But when those miners found gold, they had hope and they got excited and they didn't mind the dirt. So just like that, Jesus gives us hope so that when we are feeling sad, Jesus can give us hope and make us feel good, even if we are still a little sad. So remember, Jesus' power gives us hope. Thanks so much for riding the Rocky Railway with me today. I hope you join us again tomorrow and watch day 3 of Rocky Railway's Vacation Bible School. Also, remember that Thursday at 7 p.m. here at St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Fleetwood, we will be celebrating our Rocky Wrap-Up. We'll sing some songs that we've learned. You might get to listen to some other songs. And it's all here in the church parking lot so that we can see each other's faces and wave to each other. I hope you had fun here at Rocky Railways today, learning that Jesus' power gives us hope. Everybody stand up and sing our theme song, Your Power Will Pull Us Through. Have a good night.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead